Hello, and thank you so much for joining me today on the Community Ledger. I am going to hurry up and get started because I have got to address this interview with Don Lemon and Bill Maher. And you already know I am going to address this post that Mr. Tyrese posted. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hello, and thank you so much for joining me again today on the Community Ledger. Again, my name is Andrea Banu. And oh my goodness, it has been all over social media with regards to this interview with Don Lemon. According to Don Lemon, you ain't Black if you are a part of the MAGA party. You can't be Black and be MAGA, or you have to be uninformed. Oh my goodness. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into it because I have so much to say. But first, I am going to play Tyrese because I watched that this morning and I was hot. Okay. And I know I say that all the time, but that is my thing. I get up in the morning, I watch the news, I drink my coffee. I don't have nothing on my stomach but caffeine, and I am crazy over these politics. And so I have got to show you exactly what Tyrese had to say about those Black folk who voted Republican and how he feels about it. And I'm going to react to all of it. So let's just go ahead and get into it.
Latinos for Trump. All of the Blacks for Trump. All of the veterans for Trump. All of the victims and families of 9/11 for Trump. All of the people that's still driving around in a Cybertruck, Tesla, whatever the case may be. You know, there's people out here laughing at you right now. Who that man is was on full display on the first go round. Now listen, there's a lot of people that says, look, I don't care about none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Trump gonna help us to get money. Well, y'all see the economy, you see the stock market, you see what's going on, you see.
And I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right there because it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot to address in that small little snippet. First of all, it's a whole lot of people laughing at us people who voted for Trump don't give a damn, could care less. So if people who supported Kamala and Tyrese think that it's funny that we supported the Republican Party and walked away from that Democratic plantation, so be it. I could care less. That's first and foremost. And then secondly, we see what's going on with the economy. Since when was the economy not already jacked up? Is this new? Did this just happen January 20th? Oh, okay. So according to Tyrese, the economy was good before Trump. Is that not the reason Trump got in office in the first place? Because the economy was a hot mess. Okay. Is that the reason the Democrats are not in control right now? Because the economy was a hot mess. So there's nothing is new. Nothing is new. Okay. The economy was already jacked up. The man has only been in office for not even 60 days. Okay. So miss me with the semantics, but I'll continue.
All of this unprecedented amount of power and access he's given to a man named Elon Musk because he donated over $250 million to his campaign.
Okay. Yeah. Elon donated 250 million. Kamala had over 2 billion. Over 2 billion that's still missing. You forgot about that? You forgot about that. Elon gave 250 million. Kamala earned and campaigned over 2 million. 1 million. We don't know where none of it's at. We don't know where none of it's at. 1 billion came from PAC, and the other billion came from actual donors. We don't know where none of that money's at. But I digress. Oh,
I didn't really know that politicians were actually for sale, but we're experiencing this in real time.
What are you you talking about? You didn't know that politicians were actually for sale. What that means is, Tyrese, you ain't into politics. That means you haven't been paying no attention to politics. Okay, that's what that means. You didn't know that politicians were for sale. Where you been at? Oh, so you new to this? Okay, okay.
I'm going to give you an early prediction. In the history of Trump, he has pretty much had fallen outs with every political figure in every position of anyone he has ever hired. They've all sued him. They've all tried to expose him. They've all tried to write books. They've all went balls to the wall to try and take him out on all level. It's one thing to be Democrat and have a problem with a Republican. It's another thing to say these are all of the people that you hired yourself, and all of your lawyers and everybody that was in Trump's cabinet have all went after him on the first round. If you don't think,
And as a viewer, you don't question why that is. You just assume everybody is going after Trump, so he has to be a horrible person. You don't ever think outside of that box that maybe, just maybe, for argument's sake, he is an outsider who's coming in to change up some things, to break up the status quo, to reveal a whole lot of fraud and chaos. And we may not want that happening. Thus, thus, the Democrats are doing what they're doing to destroy the man, try to kill the man, trying to keep him from uncovering all this fraud and chaos and corruption. Could that be? Oh, no, that can't be. It has to be that he's just such a deplorable human being that everyone hates him. You've been drinking the Kool-Aid. You've been drinking the Kool-Aid.
that's going to happen again on this round, just sit back and watch. And one of the biggest predictions, and I almost want to start a website or release my own coin around this idea. The biggest fallout that's waiting to happen, and it's going to be monumental with the things that will be exposed from this, is going to be the fallout that happens between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. I can almost bank on it. I smell it, see it. There's a lot of people that says, look, I don't care about none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Trump gonna help us to get money. Well, y'all see the economy. You see the stock market. You see what's going on. You see all of this unprecedented amount of power and access. Because that's the beauty of democracy, right? Almost bank on it. I smell it, see it from a million miles away. This is a beautiful dance right now. Unprecedented amounts of power and access. Federal jobs. People are out here hurting and suffering. The new word for neo-Nazi, the new word for Ku Klux Klan is called DEI.
Since when?
Y'all understand that?
Since when?
Unprecedented amount of power and access. And he does not have a background in any of these things. But the most legendary, monumental fallout waiting to happen, where Elon Musk is going to expose every secret imaginable. It's all coming. I'm letting y'all.
You're right about that. It is definitely a possibility that a whole lot of secrets going to come out. And it ain't just going to be about Trump. So if you think as a Democratic supporter that all them skeletons ain't about to come out the closet, you crazy. That is why they're trying to stop Trump and Elon, because it's a whole lot of skeletons in that closet. It's a whole lot of bodies buried. It's a whole lot of money being fraudulently distributed. Okay. And that's the problem. That is the issue. And I don't understand how you can't see that. I don't understand how you can get on here and act like you know everything in terms of I didn't know politicians could be paid, which clearly proves you don't know a whole lot in regards to politics. You've been missing in action for a long time. Okay, Mr. Tyrese. But I'm gonna go ahead and continue. I'm gonna go continue.
I know that now. And outside of that prediction, I want to also say to all of the Latinos for Trump, all the veterans for Trump, all the blacks for Trump, all the Asians for Trump, all of the anybody, does not matter. All the Republicans for Trump. I'm praying for you. I'm actually an empath. And people are online laughing and making a mockery. He told y'all who he was. He told y'all what he was gonna do. Yo dumb ass drunk. You gonna fuck around and find out. All the above. But in the midst of all of this mockery, saying you voted for him, and like he's done many, many times before, you vote for him, and then now you're suffering for someone that you ended up supporting.
How are we suffering? That's what I want to know, because I want to know what we missed. What did I miss? Because the economy was already screwed up. The economy was already jacked up, which is what a vast majority of people who voted for him voted for. Okay, because they were tired of struggling. They were tired of the gas prices. They were tired of the grocery prices. They were tired of the chaos going on the border. These are the reasons that he won. So how is it now we're being punished because we voted for him, and somehow the economy just miraculously fell apart once he got in office? No, sweetheart, it was already a hot ass mess. What am I missing? What are you missing?
You had your choice between Kamala Harris.
Right.
That didn't work for you, and that's fine, because that's the beauty of democracy, right? We get to vote.
Right.
But it doesn't do anything for me to see so many people in so much pain, losing their jobs, struggling, suffering in all of this pain, losing their homes, all of their savings, all.
Okay, Tyrese. So let me ask you this. It doesn't do you service to see all these people struggling, hurting, in pain, losing their jobs, losing their houses. So why were you silent during COVID? Did you completely forget about 2020 when it was the Biden and Kamala administration that forced people to take this experimental drug or lose their jobs, lose their homes, lose their stability? Okay, what happened then? Well, you wasn't online talking about how you feel for them people. How quickly we forget that it was the Democrats that pushed all of that trauma on America. Okay, when they closed all of these businesses, all these mom and pop shops lost it all and still haven't recovered. Doctors walked out of the front door of these hospitals where they've been working for years. Okay, nurses, teachers, policemen all over the United States were fired. Okay, kids in school couldn't go to school. They still behind academically. All that was under the Democratic reign. All of that was under the Biden Kamala administration. So where was the outrage then?
All of their retirement plans at your age.
I can't.
You may have had that job for 20, 30 years. You're a veteran that have literally put your life on the line and served this country. So
right. And speaking of, and I speak about it all the time, what has the Democratic Party done for veterans? Since you want to speak on them, I'll wait. Because what I know is that they came out speaking about Democrats, I'm saying, legacy media came out talking about all that money that was spent on migrants, but ain't none of that go toward veterans. It's still veterans sleeping on the streets right now. Right now. That don't have nothing to do with Trump. This man been in office less than 60 days. So all of this falling apart of America just so happened. It just happened. Or is it maybe you just now started to pay attention? You just now started to care. Because this has been going on for a while now. Years, many years now. So I'm confused on why now you decided to pay attention and like feel away.
Security, food stamps, any and everything that you need to simply feed your family, it's all being compromised.
As it was under the Biden-Kamala administration during the pandemic. So please, please, please spare me.
And I just want y'all to know, it's no laughing matter. It's not funny. This is not a moment for us as Americans to be hee ha ha. You voted for him. That's what the fuck you get. That's cool. You can go ahead and do that if that's your choice. But at the end of the day, if you move the way I move and you try your best to think and have a heart towards everyone through the lens of the Lord Jesus Christ, there is nothing about anybody suffering that's funny. You can't get more.
I'm gonna pause it there before I even get into Don Lemon and Bill Maher. But I want to go ahead and play something for you because I've mentioned it before in some of my older videos, but I've never played the clip, and hopefully I will not get a copyright strike for it. It's just going to be a small clip. But this scene here and this video is exactly what is happening with the Black community and this allegiance to the Democratic Party. I'm gonna go ahead and play it. Oh, let me get over there.
Ask them why they have new cars and houses.
Is that what this is about? Do you want some new furniture? Do you want some cars?
Ask them why they got new cars and houses.
What do we have?
What do we have?
What do we have, Malcolm?
What do we have?
Broken down jalopy. The clothes on our backs.
The clothes on our backs.
So you want some new clothes? All right, I'll get you some.
We don't
You're not
even
happy
own
with
our
what we have
own
here?
home.
We don't own nothing.
What about our children?
What about our
What
children?
about me? You don't even own life insurance.
Look, Betty, the nation of Islam will provide for you and the children if anything happens to me.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you blind?
There you go. There you go. There you go. Are you sure or are you blind? So the rest of us, the ones who either decided to stay at home or decided to vote the other party, said enough is enough. Okay? Because that scene right there, that scene in that movie is when when Betty Shabazz was getting realization that the Nation of Islam was not on his side. Okay? And she was starting to feel that there was some betrayal happening. Okay. And in that scene, she says, are you too blind that you can't even process the possibility of betrayal? And that is exactly the relationship that the Black community has with the Democratic Party. You are so blind that you cannot even conceive of the possibility of betrayal. The Democratic Party has not done nothing for you. Nothing. Look outside. Drive down the street in any Black community here in the United States of America, and you can see the results of your votes over the last 30 plus years. Okay? So, Tyrese, you're going to have to miss me with the rhetoric. You're going to have to miss me with the guilt tripping. You're going to have to miss me talking about folks laughing. Laugh away. Okay, because I'm gonna stand on what's real and what's business, and I stand with all them Black men. However, whatever the percentage was, the 20% of Black men that said no, we gonna do something else this time around. I'm standing with them because this don't make no sense. And we all know, because we've all said it a million times over, that the definition of insanity is doing something over and over and over again, expecting different results. So yes, we voted differently, and we have the right to do so, period. And if something amazing comes out of it, great. If it doesn't, well, shit, we get more of the same. Ain't nothing changed. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the interview with Don Lemon, of all people, who thinks he can speak on what's black. Oh Lord, I mean, these celebrities, these public figures got a lot of nerve.
I don't give a fuck, then I like Hitler. I love Hitler. Whatever, all his Hitler things. You can't get more of and that's why he will always have a fan base somewhat similar to Trump's, because there are people who are like, damn, that guy cannot be intimidated.
But is that something that's admirable?
No.
Should we celebrate that?
I'm not celebrating it.
Yeah.
I'm saying if the subject is what you were just talking about, people who don't give a fuck. I said, Fetterman is kind of that guy. Trump is kind of that guy.
Fetterman's more of a libertarian to me than a...
Well, whatever it is, he says what he thinks.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care if you don't like it. Mm-hmm. Kanye, I mean, to me, that's his performance art. He is at the very edge of that, like, I dare you to completely destroy me. I'm just going to say, I don't know if he even believes that shit about Hitler, but I think it's more the fact that I will say it than what he's saying. If there was something else that was more egregious, I think he would say that.
And to a certain extent, I do believe that with regards to what Bill Maher is saying. He's saying he doesn't really even believe that Kanye is so anti-Semitic. I just think that Kanye feels, again, this is just my opinion, that I should not be censored with regards to my opinions or what I want to say. And so he pushes that envelope because he's right. If you have freedom of speech, you should be able to say whatever the hell you want to say. Now, the truth of the matter is there are consequences for that, so people can go on all kind of social media and they can go crazy and say all kind of things that can be offensive to others. And there are consequences. I personally wish that Kanye wouldn't go there, because it just makes him look so crazy. And then when he starts to talk something that's real, nobody listens because he's talking crazy all the time. But I do agree with Bill Maher on this, is that, we're not even really sure that Kanye has that sentiment. He's just wanting to be extreme and push the envelope.
But he found that thing, and that's his litmus test. And he will always have fans.
Okay, so you're right. He will always have fans, but my question is why? Why be an anti-Semite?
Well, I just explained why. Not because I don't think he really cares that much about it, but because it's a way to demonstrate you cannot intimidate me into not saying anything.
I think it is. I don't think it's that. I think when people do that, it's the shortest line to the front of either promotion, in whatever sense it is. It could be promoting a product, it could be promoting themselves, and you are doing something that is out of the box to get attention, just for the sake of getting attention, or just for the sake of pure ambition. Where if the same thing that when I see, not all Black Republicans, but I see a Black MAGA person who is carrying Donald Trump's water and they know that he's lying, it is the shortest line to the front. Because if you're a Black...
Okay, we're gonna pause right there for a minute. When you see a Black person that's carrying Trump's water, knowing that he's lying, every politician lies. The art of politics is being a liar. Like, as unfortunate as that is, it is very real. Every single politician, period, lies. That is part of the game. That's why so many people, so many celebrities will say, I can never get into that cesspool because it is so corrupt and you're going to have to lie. You're going to have to do a whole lot of lying. And if you think Kamala did not lie to your face during that entire campaign, you are crazy. So how are you going to be mad at him? Like, how are you supporting him knowing he lies? Are you crazy? Are you serious right now?
And you're whatever, you're just in line with a bunch of other Democrats that are doing the same thing that you're doing. But if you become a Black MAGA person, it's like, whoa, let's book this person, let's put him on television.
So you don't think you can be a sincere Black MAGA person?
I just said, I don't think that, I just said, I think there can be sincere Republicans.
But you can't be a sincere Black Republican?
I don't think that you can be a...
So essentially what he's saying is you can be a sincere Republican, but you cannot be a sincere supporter of Trump. He decided that. Don Lemon.
rational MAGA, be Black and be a rational MAGA person. I think you can be Black and be a Republican.
I think they would find that very insulting.
Well, I mean, the truth is often insulting.
Okay. Since we talking about truth and we talking about the truth sometimes being insulting, let's go ahead and throw this out here. You think that it is absurd that somebody Black could support Trump. It's irrational. Well, there are a whole lot of heterosexual men who think another Black man who is married to a white man and homosexual is irrational. And yet that truth is sometimes uncomfortable. So who are you to tell Black people their decisions are irrational based on what exactly? Your based on what? You didn't even give me no reason. You didn't say nothing. You just decided that anybody supporting Trump has got to be irrational or uninformed. Like you like you are the Messiah of all things. Like you came down here and just tapped the wand and educated everybody. Like you the only one with some real knowledge around here. That is funny because anybody who I've ever followed or that I know that is intelligent could give a damn, have never quoted Don Lemon ever. Never happened ever in life. I don't know nobody from Francis Cress Welsing to Claude Anderson to all Ivan Van Sertima, all the scholars, Runoko Rashidi, anybody who is intelligent and well educated and well versed in Black culture and Black history ain't never quoted no Don Lemon. So what are you talking about right now? What are you talking about?
That's true too.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't say that because there are cases to be made they're making. Right. I never would go all the way to Donald Trump because he does not concede elections. That's my biggest issue with him.
Right. So he just said, he wouldn't say that because there's some valid points that Black people are making with regards to why they did not support Kamala and jumped on that Trump train. Now, granted, he would not go there because Trump doesn't concede to elections, which to me is super petty because Trump did not refuse to leave the White House. He left. Okay, he didn't make that phone call and concede, but who gives a damn? Biden was in office for 4 years and left a trail of destruction in the wake. Okay, so I don't even care about the semantics. I don't care that he didn't make that phone call. He left the damn office, and that's all that matters.
So like the Republican types who think, oh, someday Bill Maher is going to, no, Bill Maher is always going to be where Bill Maher has always been. If you change enough, yeah, you're going in the wrong direction. But I think 20% of Black men voted for Trump.
Well, I think that's okay that 20% of Black men voted for Trump.
Can't they just think differently? Can't people just
be uninformed?
Have different... It's not just like you're informed about everything. Like you don't think anything.
No, but I don't think you're hearing me. I said that
they're just uninformed. Uninformed. The Black men who did not vote for Kamala are just uninformed. Now, mind you, Kamala was a shit show all day, every day. Okay, the people who got on there and gave them fake ass congratulatory, oh my God, we're so happy that you're gonna be the candidate. Obama, Michelle, fake, okay, never supported her from the rip. Nancy Pelosi, Obama didn't support her from the rip, but gave that fake ass call like they were really proud of her. And once she lost, multiple people in the Democratic Party came out and said, maybe she wasn't the best choice. But we uninformed. The 20% of men that didn't go down that ridiculous train of chaos and BS are the ones uninformed. Really? Really? Okay. Okay.
I believe that black people can be Republicans. Remember, there were lots of Republicans. Frederick Douglass.
It was different in those eras.
It was different. I was a Republican, by the way, but I started as a Republican.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
But so I think that a lot of what MAGA does is irrational, and it's often based in lies, and it's not factual. It's people that you said you don't like, people who deny elections, who deny insurrections, or whatever.
It's like, give me a damn break. Do you have, you could go on and on and on and on about the stuff that Biden has said and rolled back and all kind of other politicians. And if we just gonna stick to Kamala, which is the last candidate, Kamala reneged on everything. Everything. She has interviews talking about they have the right to come in your house and, make sure that your guns are being stored properly. Oh no, I'm not going to take your guns. I would never do that. She reneged on so many things. It's ridiculous. The woman stands for nothing but her own advancement. And then you want to sit up here and talk about Trump like he's supposed to be some saint, like you guys are the example. The Democrats are the example. No, just like you used to be a Republican, a whole lot of people that voted for Trump used to be Democrats. And they say, you know what? This party is the bullshit. And I'm not going to do it no more. And we have that right. We have that right. Okay. And from my vantage point, the Democratic Party right now is looking real crazy. And I would be laughing. I would cuss myself out if I stood in that line and voted for that fool. I would have to look myself in the mirror and be like, girl, what's wrong with you? I got to sleep at night. And yes, I sleep a lot more sound knowing that I voted for common sense. Okay. I voted for closed borders. I voted for not mutilating children. I voted for not indoctrinating school children into a specific agenda. Yes, I voted for that. I voted for common sense, and I'm very proud of it, and I sleep very well at night. And I am so grateful that I was not on that Democratic train so hard and a part of that cult so hard that I was just blindly following just because Kamala was quote unquote black. No. And it was a whole lot of other people who felt the same damn way. There was a whole lot of black people who didn't vote for Trump, but they damn sure wasn't voting for that. So it's a whole lot of people in this black community who can see through the bullshit. And Don Lemon don't have no right to address none of us because you don't have a clue. You don't have a clue. And that's a fact. But nonetheless, I had to share with you because I could not believe that Don Lemon had the audacity to get on here and try to speak on the black community and black men being uninformed and just ill all over the place. Okay. And then Tyrese decided he had some epiphany that look at what's happening right now. Look at what's happening right now. I don't want to see my people suffer, when you was completely oblivious to all the people that was losing their jobs and suffering during the pandemic. So now all of a sudden you enraged. Now it's convenient to be enraged. So again, I just had to address both of those videos because I thought it was ridiculous. And I'm about to do another video because your girl, Michelle Obama, they done threw her out there because right now the Democrats are throwing anything at the wall, hoping that something sticks. And so they done threw her out there on a podcast, and she's talking about how, there needs to be mentorship because clearly based on the fact that we are not doing what they want us to do anymore, clearly we lack mentors. We are lost somehow. And so there's also polls, believe it or not, that are showing that she is the best thing coming. She the best thing going for the Democratic Party in 2028's presidential campaign. And guess who was right up under her? Joe Biden. Yes, the same Joe Biden that don't know whether he coming or going. Okay, can't string a whole sentence together. Yes, that's number two. That's who is in the number 2 slot, and coming in 3 is Miss Kamala Harris. So listen, you cannot shame me for voting opposite of that Democratic disaster. Okay, because that is a hot mess unlike it's ever been before. And I'm gonna stand on what the decision I made, and it's gonna go however it's gonna go. But nonetheless, if you have not already, please do like, share, and subscribe. And thank you again for joining me on the Community Ledger. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and watch the next video by clicking right here.